welcome you to this game. We ask during the game that you please refrain from poor sportsmanship. Please don't criticize the players on either team. Please don't boo or yell at the umpires. Please be courteous to the opposing team's fans. Please cheer enthusiastically for your team.
This way.
And please show
I'm not that
respect for
important
any injured
in
player
the
on
pecking
either
order,
team.
although it's a
Poor
Saturday.
sportsmanship is a bad example
When
for
Barry
kids like you.
Lewis,
The way we see
Barry
adults
Trammell,
act at games is
and
the
about
way their
18
brothers
other
act at games too.
reporters
So
were around
please
Coach
set a good
Trimble when he had
example
set
for
the
us
record and
kids.
he was about
Now,
to announce his
let's all
retirement.
enjoy this game together. A reminder
Let the
from
one girl on
Yoa
the field interview him,
SAK.
and I let another guy go ahead of me. I said, Bill, I said, you go ahead and go ahead. I said, it's fine, go ahead. I know you got to try back to myself. He looked at me kind of like that. So then Jacob interrupted me. The moment tried to interrupt me. He said, no, you need to wait, young man. This man's turn to drive here. It shows me over all the other people all around. Talking for like 15 minutes.
Thank you, Dan. Look, I fell. Huh? I fell on the way up here. You fell? You fell just so you could bring it to me. Yeah. You're a good man.
I saw him again in Moore. He says, I want to get an interview with you before I retire, young man. Talk about a legend. I'm not talking about a legend. Sad day when he passed away.
Much the same. All right, before we get this game underway, and it's going to be underway just before you know it, be sure and make your way to the concession stand and get all tanked up for this ball game. Yeah, if you hadn't got some of the homemade chili yet, I think they still got some over there. So if you go over there, get you some homemade chili. It is so good. I had some earlier today, and it is so good. Also, I've had a couple of burgers today, and those are always terrific. Chicken tacos, walking tacos, peach cobbler with ice cream. They'll heat it up for you if you ask them to. Mighty good. So head over to the concession stand. They even still have some hot chocolate over there, too. They're ready to serve you. Nobody in line right now, so that's the perfect time to go. All right, we're about to get underway.
Final game of the evening here at Lookeba Sickles High School will feature your host Panthers entering the game, I believe, 6-8 on the season. They will play the Calumet Chieftains 10-2. Winner punches their ticket to meet the Cash and Wildcats in the championship game tomorrow night. Loser slots to the third place game against the Shattuck Indians.
Batting for Calumet, number 10, Hunter Arnold.
Just about take out half the dugout there. 1-1 on the pitch count. Ball put in play, flies right out to the first baseman, one down.
And there's one away.
I'd like to thank our coverage sponsors for tonight's action.
Batting next is number 8, Caleb Meshberger.
Cherokee Restaurant in Calumet, and our good friends, the Piscinas, Mexican Cafe in Hinton and Weatherford. Please give Raul a shout out and make sure you stop by if you haven't eaten there before. They've got a beautiful restaurant in both Hinton and Weatherford. One a little bit bigger than the other, but the food is amazing, awesome Mexican place. So check them out. Calumet rocking the OSU Cowboy unis tonight. Teams are very comparable in the layout of their colors. Each team with black and gray. Orange and white obviously offsetting the color scheme. and strikes him out.
And there's 2 away. Next, number 17, Jackson Olive.
In the dirt, 2-0 count. Came in a little late today, but it'll be our first day to do quadruple coverage. That is the goal and game plan tomorrow. If for any reason we get started a little late, we will pick up game number 9, or the 7th place consolation game in progress. Previous game, 2-hour and 15-minute time limit was met. I think the umpire may have actually called it about 5 minutes early, but it was pretty close. I was afraid that the head coach, Oakley, for Shattuck was making the bullpen change and dragging it out and wasn't aware he needed to get out of this inning ASAP, and that ended up being the case. All right, strikes him out. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Panthers up to bat.
And that will end the top of the first inning. No runs score. Lookeba Sickles preparing to come up to bat.
Efficient top first inning for the Panthers. Able to get a couple of Ks. And so Calumet will be hitting the field here on defense. First time for the game. Winner will meet Cashin tomorrow for the 2022 Lookeba Sickles Panthers Baseball Tournament Championship. Loser will slot to the 3rd place game to meet Shattuck. Your 5th place game tomorrow, which will be approximately 2 p.m., will feature the Elk City freshman squad versus Sentinel. And then starting the day in action, 11:30, Binger Oni versus Lomega for the 7th place game of this year's tournament. Do what?
What's the score of the last game?
8-4.
8-4.
Yeah, I said 7-4 earlier, I think, by mistake. Those interested in scores, previous action today, Sentinel defeated Lomega 18-12. Elk City freshman 12-0 over Binger. Cashin 8-4 over Shattuck.
Winner of this game will be playing in the championship tomorrow night against Cashin. Runner-up will be playing Shattuck at 4:30. Panthers come up to bat now, and batting first will be number 17, Quincy Hicks.
Right. Don't know why we're having much of a delay here, but it appeared to be a helmet change and mask for the catcher. So somebody took it over the other side of the fence, fixed something on it, then tossed it back over to the catcher. Bottom of the first now underway. All right, gets the corner 1-1. And full count. And Waxim leadoff runner on for the Panthers.
Runner now on first base for Lookeba Sickles. And next to the plate will be number 11, Kyler Thiessen.
All right, runner advances to second. So they're going to give him a ball there on the check swing pullback. Appreciate those of you that tuned in for the Shattuck game. Due to another team's local high school parents doing the broadcast, we decided to go ahead and just keep it simple and do ours on recorded live stream only. It's very hard to sit back for an entire game and not speak or say anything. However, every now and then it's a good thing to learn to be quiet. I think it's the Apostle Paul that said that you study to be quiet. That is a course that a lot of people are sadly failing, but that's a message for another day. All right, 3-0 count. In for a strike, 3-1. Just a reminder, all games for the tournament yesterday, today, and tomorrow, 2-hour and 15-minute limits. We will have probably more than a few more final 6-inning scores. Had one earlier today, actually to start the day with Lookeba and Sentinel, and then the third game as well for the day between Shattuck and Cashin ending through 6. And back-to-back walks.
Runners now at first and second for the Panthers. Batting next, number 23, Jacob Vincent.
Nice pitch, 0-1. Ball ricochets away. Both runners will steal bases and safe at second and third. 1-1 pitch count will resume. That does not happen very often. We saw that earlier today, unfortunately for Shattuck, a beautiful pitching performance by their starting pitcher through 2.5, almost 3 innings, and then kind of the wheels came falling off on the wagon. But we saw the pitcher and catcher miscommunicate and throw the ball to each other, not realizing they weren't supposed to do it in reverse like that, and a base runner stole home on them. Chops it in the dirt. It'll go right to the second baseman. He'll be in safe at home and safe at first. 2 runs will score for the Panthers.
And 2 runs come across the plate for the Panthers. They now lead by a score of 2-zip.
That was what we would call a hot ball, no error.
Batting next, number 24, Dawson Willard.
Runner goes. He'll be in safe at second. 0-1 pitch count will resume. Back to back. You gotta swing at one of those 2 pitches. I get the first one, you may be timing, you're trying to see what the pitcher's going to throw, but it's hard to give up back-to-back strikes like that. Runner steals third on the wild pitch. 1-2 count resumes. Chops it foul. 1-2 count will remain. Chieftains with a classic look for their uniforms. Several teams throughout the state have the similar kind of layout. Ripley, Lindsay come to mind. Alec, of course. And gets him.
And there's one away. Coming up next to the plate, number 10, Gavin Houston.
Ball is trapped by the catcher. Heads up play, 1-0 count. Back to back. I apologize on the pitch count. I forgot to reset that, so I know we've already got 1 out and multiple runners, but I know he hasn't been pitching 40 pitches so far. All right, Panthers have some options here. You can either work him in the pitch count, force him to throw 3 straight strikes. You can jump on a surprise pitch or just simply advance on base on balls, which he does.
Runners now on the odd bases for the Panthers. Courtney.
Down in the dirt again. So much of the day. Oh, another miscue. In safe. He's going to steal third. In safe as well. That is what you call double trouble.
And another run scores. It's now 3-0. He's one away.
1-0 pitch count will remain. So multiple miscues there by the catcher. Number one, bobbling the ball, throwing to second. You fake the throw to second when he's 2/3 of the line down. You don't throw because it allows third base to jump and steal, which is exactly what he did. And by rushing the throw, it goes awry, and he steals second and heads all the way to third. I've always been a fan. If you're going to throw, have a signal, have your shortstop jump out and throw to him so that he's got that cannon arm to throw right back to home if that's what you want to do. And 2 down.
And there's 2 away. Your next batter in the batter's box is number 2, Dayton Crane.
Nice looking pitch. Fouls it off 0-2. And staying alive on the pitch count, 0-2 again. And 1-2. There are actually people enjoying the baseball game, standing in the back of their truck beds. And one I see sitting on top of the cabin. Ball put in play to the second baseman, slow roller. It'll be a 4-3 ground out, runner stranded, so it'll be a 3-0 lead for the Panthers.
And that will end the first inning. We're headed to the top of the second. Lookeba Sickles scores 3 runs and lead by a score of 3-0. Calumet preparing to come up to bat.
Hey, Tommy, you're just are you hungry and thirsty? I sure am. Why don't you see if Mom will give you some money for us to get something to eat and drink at the concession stand? I want some candy and I want a soda pop. You know Mom wants you to drink water. Mind your own business, Vincent. Be nice, Tommy, or I'll tell Mom about you breaking her favorite base with a baseball in the house. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey folks, you need to go to the concession stand too. Get something to eat and drink right now. Hey genius, when I say go to the concession stand right now, I mean right now. Ready, set, go.
All right, here is recap. Day 1 action. Cashin 11-0 Lomega. Shattuck 14-8 Sentinel. Calumet 10-9 Elk City Freshman. Lookeba Sickles 26-2 Binger. Day 2 results thus far. Your scores have been Sentinel 18-12 Lomega, Elk City Freshman 12-0 Binger, and Cashin 8-4 Shattuck. Top of the second inning now. Lookeba leads the Calumet team 3-0. Chieftains up to bat, top of the second inning about to begin.
In the winner of this game will be playing at 7 o'clock tomorrow night against Cashin. The runner-up will be playing at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon against the Shattuck Indians for third. Top of the second inning, and coming up to bat for Calumet, number 22, Wyatt Dean.
Gets him on the strike. I said yesterday that Lookeba Sickles' record was very deceptive. They are much better than a 6-8 team. However, that does happen sometimes when your baseball roster spots are taken up in the tournament. We're about halfway through the baseball season now. Some teams still have another week of invitationals. I see them on the calendar for 2 more weeks before we go right into just full district play. Ooh, dings him on the pop there in the back.
Runner now at first base for the Chieftains. Next to the plate, number 1, Gavin Tinsley.
If I can squeeze in a district assignment for the Class A and B teams in the tournament in a bit, I will. And strikes him out.
And there's one away.
Runner does remain on first, though.
Currently batting number 6, Carson Cooper.
Ooh, that would have been problems. Just goes foul. Calls the strike. 2 down.
And there's 2 away now. Next at bat for Calumet, number 2, Hunter Nabanek.
Awesome shot. 2 runners on now.
Runners now at first and second for Calumet. We have next at the plate, number 5, Derek Krantzman.
I think back-to-back nights, boisterous winds have died down right before the start or about after the start of the final game of the evening. Lookeba trying to make it 3 for 3 and get that 7 o'clock spot tomorrow as well after playing Thursday and Friday at 7. And that one goes out. In for a single. Runner is coming in. Throw is on its way, and it is on the target, and he'll get him at home on the 7-2 throw out. Potential defensive play of the game. Chieftain Strand 2, bottom of the second. Panthers coming up.
And we are headed to the bottom of the second inning. No run score. It is 3-0 Lookeba Sickles in the lead, and the Panthers preparing to come up to bat.
Okay, so we will do Class A first. I will do these as quickly as possible. Canute is your Class 1A district host. Rattan 2, Red Oak 3, Sterling 4, Dewar 5, Pioneer Pleasantville 6, Tusca 7, Wright City 8, Hydro Eakley 9, Visai 10, Elmore City Purnell 11, Arapahoe Butler 12, Hollis 13, Porter Consolidated 14, Drummond 15, Shattuck, one of the teams in our tournament here, is the District 16 host. They will be playing Boise City and Felt, a co-op program. Caddo gets District 17, Moreland 18, Calumet 19. They will be hosting Wacomas in a best 2 out of 3. I've skipped again here. Moreland 18, Calumet 19, Navajo 20, Elma 21, Woodland 22, Crowder 23, Barnesville 24, Okarche 25, Oklahoma Christian Academy 26, Stonewall 27, Gore 28, Davenport 29, Snyder 30, Wilson 31, and Rock Creek out of Shawnee 32. Binger-Oni, another team in the tournament, will slot to District 30 to play Snyder in a best 2 out of 3.
Bottom of the second inning. Panthers coming up to bat, and the first batter for Lookeba Sickles, number 15, Corbin Clifton.
And just like that, back-to-back pitches, 0-2 count. Check swings, 1-2. Back-to-back 2-2. Fouls it off. And gets him on the swing.
And there's one out. Coming up next for Lookeba Sickles, number 3, Dylan Williams.
And 2-1. Fouls it off, 3-2. Just about seen it all today. Batter and pitcher throwing the ball to each other. And he walks him.
Runner now on first base for Lookeba Sickles. Top of the batting order. Batting next, number 17, Quincy Hicks.
Shows bunt, takes strike. Ball is overthrown. Another error. Runner advances to second. Inside corner. And a full count. It is full count now. Sorry about that. And gets him.
And there's two down. Stepping up next, number 11, Kyler Thiessen.
Runner goes in safe at third. One pitch count will resume. One, two. Young man at the plate, head coach's son. I've watched him grow up from a young little ball catcher to a good ball player. Hits it to the pitcher, 1-3 on the fielder's choice throwout. So the Panthers strand one in back-to-back innings. They lead 3-0, top of the third coming up.
And that will wrap up the second inning. Your score is still 3-0 with Lookeba Sickles in the lead. Calumet preparing to come up to bat. Incidentally, if you have someone at home that would like to watch the game, it is on YouTube. You can type in Prep Nation TV. Again, Prep, P-R-E-P, Nation TV. Tell them to type that in, and they can see the live stream right there on YouTube and enjoy tonight's game. Be able to hear Greg doing his color commentating on there, and unfortunately they'll have to hear me in the background too, but we appreciate you doing that, Greg, and appreciate his sponsors that are helping to make it possible as well. Again, Prep Nation TV on YouTube. You can also watch it at a later time.
Thank you.
I should have been doing that a whole lot more. I apologize.
I can count on one hand how many places have done that in 6 years.
Well, remind me and I'll do it tomorrow every game.
All right, we promised Class B earlier. Only 3 teams in the tournament, but we'll give you the rundown. Again, 32 districts. We'll get the starting announcement here first.
We got number 16. Batting first for Calumet, number 16, David Vineyard.
All right, so Lookeba Sickles will be your host for Class B District 9. They will host Lookeba in a best 2 out of 3. So that knocks off 2 of the 3 just right off the bat. All right, we have got a 2-2 pitch count. Sentinel being our other Class B team. They will be your District 13 host. They likewise will have a best 2 out of 3 with Blair. And at the end of the inning, we'll give you the Class B rundown from District 1 all the way through District 32 for your hosts. Full count now, 3-2. And he walks him.
Runner now on first base for the Cheetahs. Top of the batting order, batting for Calumet, number 10, Hunter Arnold.
Just a reminder, we will be doing all the games tomorrow, weather permitting and time permitting. If we are late for any reason getting set up, we will join the 7th place game in progress. Hits it over to the shortstop, tags, throws, and we'll see if they give him the double play, and they do. It is a 6 on assist 3 double play.
And with a double play, 2 away now. Next up to the plate, number 8, Caleb Meshberger.
So nicely done there by the defenseman. Sometimes the natural tendency is to flick it over to the second base and wait for them to run to it, so they can dive, jump, or pivot and throw. Instead, he just ran it right to the base and fired away. So the one base runner they had on is now off. And it has been an efficient top and bottom now for Lookeba Sickles back to back. Fouls it off, 1-2. Ball hits the batter, so runner back on first now for the Chieftains.
Runner now on first base. Batting next, number 17, Jackson Olive.
Just a reminder, tomorrow's game's 11:30 is your 7th place game. It'll feature Binger in a matchup against Lookeba. 2 o'clock, Elk City Freshman versus Sentinel. 4:30, Shattuck versus the loser of this game between Calumet and Lookeba Sickles. And then at 7 o'clock will be your championship game, Cashin versus this game's winner. Fouls it off, 0-2 on the pitch count. Runner goes back to first. Those of you that are watching the game, when you're done, if you want to take the time, please give us a click subscribe. It allows you to prioritize content whenever you're in the YouTube app. You see our videos more often. And then number 2, it helps us monetize the account for sponsors. Also, take the opportunity to go over to playlists and click. You can watch any previously aired game or team that we have covered since 2018. I did recently notice that they dropped off 2017 that had been in storage. That's a question we get often, of why we use YouTube for our storage. That is a perfect example. Your average app or TV channel may have 5 to 10 games stored, perhaps 6 months or a year at a max. We have got over 1,700 videos stored going back 4 years. That's a lot of videos. All right, runner steals on second. And tags him.
And that will end the top of the inning. We are headed to the bottom of the third. And it is still 3-0. Lookeba Sickles in the lead. And preparing to come up to bat.
All right, here's your recap for Class B district hosts. In District 1, it's the Roth Tigers, back-to-back state champions. Fort Cobb-Broxton in District 2, Tupelo 3, Glencoe 4, Kearney 5, Leedy 6, Boswell 7, Moss 8, Lookeba Sickles 9, New Lima 10, Granite 11, Schindler 12, Sentinel 13, Mount View Godebo 14, Asher 15, Stewart 16. In the bottom half of the bracket, Mulhall Orlando District 17, Big Pasture 18, Hammond 19, LaFleur 20, Dover 21, Coleman Victory Life Co-op number 22, Cameron 23, Badius 24, Blue Jacket 25, Cement 26. Our good friend Lance will be there doing the broadcasting for that tournament. Kiowa 27, Buffalo Valley 28, Kremlin Hillsdale 29, Duke 30, Smithville 31, and Timberlake rounding out District 32. Those that are interested in Cement's bracket, they will have Granfield and Tipton coming to town. It'll be a 3-way tournament, double elimination required. Could be as many as 5 to 6 games if it rolls the right way.
Coming to bat for the Panthers, number 23, Jacob Vincent. I'll actually be at Surreal doing softball.
Oh, I just stand corrected. You know, sometimes you say somebody, you know, I've been wrong before, but then I was wrong about being wrong. I was right early, but I was wrong about being right. Lance will be covering the softball, and he will be in Surreal, not Cement. So I do apologize for the 2 or 3 people out there that were packing up hot dogs, apple cobbler recipes, trying to one-up Lookeba here, what they've done.
They do awesome here.
There's not many local dugouts, much less concession stands, that have anything other than pickles, popcorn, nachos, and occasionally hot dogs or cold burgers that have been used as hockey pucks by the boys' team. But this concession stand really goes above and beyond. I mean, they've got just a ton of food options. You know, anybody that has cobbler with ice cream and chili and hot dogs and hamburgers and street tacos or walking tacos and chicken tacos and Frito chili pies. I mean, chili, all of it. And gets him on the strike. One down.
And there's one away.
So I have to give some shout outs here to the staff that house this and make it possible for the fans to come out and enjoy their game. We are out in the middle kind of nowhere, and so it is important to have some good food options. So kudos to the Panthers.
Batting for Lookeba Sickles, number 24, Dawson Willard.
We anticipate making some changes to Prep Nation TV network coverage this summer. So stay tuned for a couple of new additions we'll be making. We'll be switching over to Prep Nation TV and likely, don't quote me on this, but likely expanding into college sports for the Red River Sports Network. So that's kind of my goal, is to cover the Big 12 before Oklahoma gets ran out on the rail. And now 3-1 on the count. Hits it to the first baseman, bobbles, grabs in a race to the tag, and he gets him 1 down. Or I'm sorry, 2 down.
And there's 2 away. Taking his turn in the batter's box will be number 10, Gavin Houston.
All right, we have a wardrobe malfunction here. Unfortunately, I think when he went to make the tag, somehow he got his thumb caught in his glove, because they are taping it up for him. And I believe they are taping the hand, not the glove. So somehow he got a laceration there on his hand. I'm not sure if he'll have to sit out a play, if it'll be similar to basketball and football, for example. If they see blood, you have to sit until it's under control. So we'll have a referee's timeout here, officials timeout. Those of you wondering why the pitcher is off the mound, he is not allowed to do warm-ups in between innings unless they are changing pitching. So he has to step off and just kind of throw back and forth to keep his arm warm. All right, still working on him over here in the visitors' dugout, and he is heading back. He almost ran into something. So it could have been a second injury there potentially. So hands off a headset or something to somebody in the dugout, assistant coach over there. Back on first, back on the mound, and we resume action, 0-0 count. Got him golfing 1-1. Tries to whack at it, unable to get it. Shortstop comes down, fires, throws, gets him on the 6-3 ground out.
That will end the inning. After 3 complete innings of play, it is still 3-0 with Lookeba Sickles in the lead. Head to the top of the 4th inning, and it will be Calumet coming up to bat.
I may open this window again because it's starting to grab those plaques even though I moved it up. You can literally see their pictures in the background of it.
Coming up to bat for Calumet, number 22, Wyatt Dean.
All right, Chieftains up to bat, top of the fourth inning underway here. It is a 3-0 lead for Lookeba Sickles. They have grabbed the lead in the first inning and not let up. Unable to get any runs scored, though, in the third inning. Chops it down 0-2 on the pitch count. Would like to again thank our coverage sponsors, Cherokee Restaurant in Calumet and Piscina's Mexican Cafe in Hinton and in Weatherford. Please patronize those businesses and bring them your buck. It's generous locales all across the state that allow us to do our coverage and make the viewership generally free for the viewing audience. Not to mention, you can go back and watch the games on video on demand, and if you have a smart TV, you can Chromecast or Googlecast it right to your TV and watch at home. 3 on assist tag, 1 down.
And that's out number 1. Your next batter for the Chieftains, number 1, Gavin Tinsley.
In for strike 0-1. And back to back 0-2. And whips it into center field, and it's going to drift over the head of the right fielder all the way to the wall, and it'll be a stand-up double for the Chieftains. Runner in safe.
And it will be a double, putting a runner on second base for Calumet. Next in the lineup, number 6, Carson Cooper.
Chieftains strand base runners in back-to-back innings and now beginning to solve the Rubik's Cube, so to speak, of the pitcher from the Panthers. Chieftains runner on second has a large, healthy lead. In high, ball one. Out ahead, 1-1 on the pitch count. Oh, that ended up being an ingenious bunt. He gets the out on the 1-3 ground out, but he advances runner to third.
And there's 2 away. Stepping up next to the plate, number 2, Hunter Navene.
Beauty of that is he didn't even really mean to bunt and then had to take off and haul, you know what, down first base line. He made it pretty tight, though, contested it. Back-to-back evenings here at the Darrell Scales Ballpark and Field, where the wind has kind of died down for the final game of the evening. Winds were exceptionally boisterous yesterday, anywhere from about 30 up to 50 miles per hour. Today it's been under 30, and I would say it's a far cry now from there. But it is a beautiful evening here in Lookeba, Oklahoma. 1-1 pitch count here, 3-0 lead for the hometown Panthers. And again, pops it up. It's going to shift into shallow center field and underneath it. So they'll strand one again. We'll have the bottom of the fourth. Your score remains Lookeba Sickles 3, Calumet 0. Prep Nation TV quadruple coverage of the 2022 Lookeba Sickles Panthers Baseball Tournament.
And that will end the top of the 4th inning. We head to the bottom of the inning. 3-0 your score. Lookeba Sickles preparing to come up to bat and in the lead by a score of 3-0. Again, the winner of this game will be playing for the championship 7 o'clock tomorrow evening against the Cashin Wildcats. Runner-up will be playing against the Shattuck Indians at 4:30 for third. Other games taking place will be the Omega Raiders taking on the Binger-Oni Bobcats tomorrow morning at 11:30. And also the Sentinel Bulldogs will take on the Elk City Elks freshman team at 2 o'clock for fifth.
It just makes it easier when it's quiet, controlled noise, because then you can properly set what you want to set. And I can't do that when there's, because your mind is just kind of like defensive. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Bottom of the 4th inning. And coming up to the plate to bat, number 27, Reese Courtney.
That ball put into play to the second baseman, 4-3 on the ground out. Scoops it up 1 down.
First out of the bottom of the
All right, so 2-0 on the pitch count. One down after a 4-3 ground out. One hops it. And called strike, 3-1. Ball put in play, will roll to the shortstop. Gathers the arm, fires it, and it is another out.
2 away. Taking his turn in the batter's box now, number 15, Corbin Clifton.
Oh, 1 pitch. Make that 1-1. Inside. Panthers get runs in the first and second inning, none in the third. Trying to break that malaise here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 is your pitch count. Ball down the pike, so full count. And gets him on the strikeout. Through for your score, Lookeba Sickles 3, Calumet 0. Top of the 5th inning, Chieftains up to bat.
And that will end the inning. No run score. It is still 3-0. Lookeba Sickles in the lead. Calumet is preparing to come up to bat. Coming up to bat for Calumet will be number 5, Derek Krantzman.
And one down.
Batting next for Calumet, number 16, David Vineyard.
So the whip gym continues here for the Panthers starting pitcher. As hard as this is to say or think here, we're now potentially 7 outs away from a final game. I'm sorry, 8. Game has moved along at a brisk pace here. About an hour and 20 minutes or so, give or take, into the game. Neither pitcher has been pulled. Chieftain's pitcher was dinged up in the first and second innings, where the Panthers got 3 runs on the board, and that has pretty much been it. He has settled into a groove back-to-back innings in the third and fourth, giving up no runs and straining base runners as well. Gives him the corner plate, strikeout.
And there's 2 away.
So
Batting next, number 10, Hunter Arnold, top of the batting order.
mastery continues here for the Panthers starting pitcher. Young man is dealing aces here tonight. Lookeba Sickles trying to punch their ticket to the championship game tomorrow versus Cashin. Couple of really fun games today. One that wasn't so fun or fun-y. But the game of the day, arguably Sentinel and Lookeba in a wild 14-8 game. And he flies out.
And the top of the inning will go 1, 2, 3. 3-0 still your score, with Lookeba Sickles in the lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning.
All right, Chieftains now down to their final 6 outs. Being the home squad, Lookeba, if they have the lead going into the 7th, will not have to bat in a bottom 7th scenario. Right now, we are more than well on target to play a 7-inning game. Teams across the board here for the 2022 Lookeba Sickles Panthers baseball tournament. A pretty deep field. You've got one Class 4A team in Elk City, their freshman squad, not junior varsity. Class 2A sole entrant is Cashin. As they stated earlier today, one of the parents mentioned that OSSAA has an error duplicating one of their games. So they are now 13-1, not 14-1. Class A teams, Binger, Calumet, and Shattuck, and then your Class B teams, Lookeba, Lookeba Sickles, and Sentinel.
Coming up to bat for Lookeba Sickles, number 3, Dylan Williams.
Immediately 0-2 on the pitch count. And strikes him out.
And that's out number 1. Top of the batting order, batting now for the Panthers, number 17, Quincy Hicks.
Outside, back-to-back balls, 2-0 on the pitch count. And on the hack, 2-1. This has probably been the best pitching performance by both teams in the entire tournament. This is officially game 8, but the weather has just created a massive advantage for the offenses in these games. So I would say across the board, the earlier game, Cashin and Shattuck for sure than this game. Definitely pitching been at a premium in this particular matchup. Full count now, 3-2. And he walks him.
And there's a runner now on first base. By the way, thank you for the message from Messenger in the outfield. I appreciate that. Batting next, number 11, Tyler Thiessen.
If you give her the game link, she can listen to you on there.
Runner now third.
So Panthers continue mastery on the bases here. Trying to gather if we had one pitch or two. I thought I heard two pops. I was doing a favor for some fans out. We are having a testy exchange here between the umpire and the head coach. And out on the strike. Doesn't go. 2-1 on the pitch now. Panthers once again, as they had in the first and second innings, extensive base runnings. 101, I guess is what I would call it. Stealing first, extending second to third. So looking to get that fourth run across the board. You never know what might be lurking there in sixth or seventh innings once an arm begins to wear down. So he'll walk him here, so we'll have him now on the corners.
Runners now on the odd bases for the Panthers. And your next batter, number 23, Jacob Vincent.
All right, we'll see if the Chieftains' timeout here will work. Not sure if the catcher's just giving the pitcher an opportunity to get rid of a little head congestion, it looked like. It's the best way to word that. I'm loath to say blow snot all over the mound, but that's kind of the other country version of it. Ball is low, 1-0 count. And in 2-0. All right, so after a masterful recovery here in the third and fourth inning, Skipper heading over to the umpire, and I don't know if this is going to go south quickly here, but he is going to challenge the previous pitch, which was called a ball. It is a 2-0 count. I can count on one finger how many times I've seen an umpire reverse himself on these types of calls. All right, call remains 2-0. Panthers on first and third. Would not be surprised to see the base runner jump and try to steal second here, put some stress test pressure on both the catcher and pitcher. Down in the dirt, 3-0 on the count. Now that he's up 3-0, can likely just wait to walk. We'll say Cashin had an inordinate amount of 3-0 counts that ended up going their way in the previous game today. They basically wore down the starting pitcher for Shattuck, then substituted out themselves for a pitch count, did it again to save an arm potentially for tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see if Coach Disson has saved his one for tomorrow or if he's pitching it tonight. 3-2 count now. I know that Cashin will be pitching by committee tomorrow. Trying to save their one for a potential matchup against Amber Pocasset next week. And strikes him out, so there's a perfect example of not giving up on the count.
2 away. Your next batter, number 24, Dawson Willard.
Inside corner. So after 3 straight balls, it has been 4 straight strikes now by the Chieftains. In high ball 1. Panthers really want this insurance run here. Chieftains wanting to stop them in their tracks and make it 3 consecutive innings without a run given up. Lookeba Sickles scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and then nothing in the third and fourth. Runners on second and third here in the bottom of the fifth. In for a strike, 2-2. Right to the pitcher. It is going to be a perfect storm. Close on the throw. They get him. So it is a 1-3 fielder's choice throw out. Panthers strand 2.
5th inning comes to a close. And so after 5, it is 3-0. Panthers still in the lead. Chieftains preparing to come up to bat.
All right, so 3 innings consecutively now. Calumet has held Lookeba Sickles hitless, or at least runless, in some tandem form or fashion. They strand 2 base runners at second and third, and you have to think that head coach Thyssen is going to be a little bit upset with that particular arrangement. He had somebody on third with 1 out. He had 2 people on second and third with 1 out. And then neither of them come across home plate. Calumet needing to get something going here in the top of the 6th. They're down to their final 6 outs, provided that we do not hit the allotted time limit of 2 hours and 15 minutes. Winner will meet the Cashin Wildcats for the championship of the tournament. Loser will slot to the 3rd place consolation game versus the Shattuck Indians. Okie dokie, here we go. Top sixth. Pitch is out, check, swing. He'll confer to see if he goes. Otherwise, it'll be called 1-0 for the ball.
Currently batting for Calumet, number 8, Caleb Meshberger.
Weather permitting, we will be covering the annual Roth Tiger Baseball Tournament next week. Two of the teams in action here tonight, Sentinel and Lookeba Sickles, will be playing in that tournament. Other teams in action next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the Tuska Tigers, Tupelo Tigers, Dale Pirates, Granite Panthers, and Rattan Rams. Should be a really good event and tournament over there outside of Ada. And you might as well just call it the baseball factory of Oklahoma, the equivalent of the Triangle in Durham and North Carolina. Oklahoma's got its own version of baseball powerhouses there with Latta and Roth. And there's a school that's won like 125 state championships called Ada as well. That's not bad. And gets the strike. My only advice for Ada High School would be to update their sign that leads you into the football, track field, and the basketball arena. A team that accomplished should have a sign that is just wow factor to it.
Runner now on first base for the Chieftains. Next to the plate, number 17, Jackson Olive.
Those of you that are purists of baseball, everybody knows about the Asher Dynasty, 45 state titles. Merle Bowen won 43 titles in 17 plus years. Asher set the record in Oklahoma that will never be broken, making it in combination to 64 straight state finals in spring and fall baseball. I don't care where you're from, that is impressive. Runner steals now at second. 1-0 pitch count will resume. One hops it, ricochets off the catcher's mask. Runner will steal, and now at third, 2-0 pitch count resumes. So, Calumet now has runner in scoring position. Coach Thisson not happy here, and I don't blame him. The one hopper there almost hit the grass when he threw it. That was a difficult ball to control for the catcher, and it gave up an unnecessary advanced runner from second to third. Designed this one for them. All right, back in action here. 2-0 pitch count remains. Runner now at third for the Chieftains. They have got to get him across home plate. No outs. Whips it back to third. He's going to get him if they give him the tag, and I believe that they just did. Throws him out on the 2-5 throw out. Coach T is a pump it up.
And there's one away.
He is hyping it up now.
That was good.
Folks, you got to be careful. These catchers, they'll catch you napping, and we saw it earlier today. It happened against Cashin and Shattuck. Lookeba did it as well. Just because you get on base doesn't mean you're going to stay there. All right, parents are now going crazy.
Runner now on first base.
Not sure exactly what brought that reaction, but I think it's a proud mama.
Next up, number 22, Wyatt Dean.
That probably is more accurate. We've probably got a little passive aggressive making fun of Coach Tisson, so he's usually a very calm, reserved man, and it was kind of jolting to see him jump up and, you know, tell him, all right, show some excitement, show some passion. Come on now, let's get some fire going here. Fouls it off. 0-2 pitch count favoring now the Panthers again. Runner on first after the walk. If we stay on the trajectory we are right now, we will have a seventh inning. Calumet now down to their final 5 outs. This 0-2 pitch could easily make it now 4. 1 here for the 6th and 3 obviously in the 7th. Outside on the ball. Actually looking forward to a couple of the games tomorrow. There's one that I'll keep to myself, but the best way to word this is that it's probably a good thing for 2 teams that have had some frustrating experiences like Binger and Lookeba. One of them will leave this tournament on a win, and that's good. Fly out to left field. 2 down.
And there's 2 away. Coming now to the plate, number 1, Gavin Tinsley.
Binger thus far has been run ruled twice, been kind of sad. Lookeba had a shot today. They really, really did. Had the lead a couple of times. Really looked like they were going to upset Sentinel. In the 2:30 game, I would say keep your eye out for that Elk City freshman team. They're pretty good. You know, they did lose 10-9, but they came back from down 9-2. And for 14-year-old kids playing 15, 16, 17-year-olds, they have acquitted themselves well in this tournament, going 1-1.
Time limit got against you.
Yep, they ran out of time. That is exactly right. If you'd had a 7-inning game, they very well could have won that game. And, you know, 11-10, 12-10, who knows? Runner has to go back on the foul ball. One thing I've learned with some of these baseball seasons is it doesn't always matter how you start. It's how you start hitting your stride and finish, especially around districts. I can remember a state championship team just a couple years ago for Red Oak that had 13 losses. Lookeba was a state semifinalist with, I think, 15 losses a couple years back as well. I'd like to once again thank our coverage sponsors, Cherokee Restaurant in Calumet and Piscina's Mexican Cafe in Hinton and Weatherford. Checks him in at first, straight down the pike, 0-2 on the count. So base runner is either going to have to get exceptionally lucky on the jump here. It is very hard to steal second against a lefty. They just don't have the same blind spot that the righties got built in. Not to mention there's next to no chance that they'll balk throwing over to first. And back again. And they get him on the 1-3 pickoff as I say that. So we head to the the bottom of the 6th inning. Panthers will be up to bat. They lead 3-0.
And we'll head now to the bottom of the inning. 3-0 your score with Lookeba Sickles in the lead. And preparing to come up to bat.
So
Championship game tomorrow, 7 p.m. And the third place game, 4:30.
I was wondering how long it would take before somebody would ask the referees, who is paying you? I am going to reveal breaking news. This is CNN and MSNBC worthy breaking news here. I will tell you right now on air who pays these referees. You do. Their pay comes out of the ticket gate sales. Many of them make 75 whopping dollars to somehow frame you or beat you or thwart you. So if anybody is looking to rig some Oklahoma high school games, my recommendation would be carry a couple of Benjamin Franklins around with you, because I doubt they're going to throw a game for $75 plus mileage. Other than a brief moment of trouble in the 5th inning, Panthers have been exceptionally good tonight. Very disciplined.
Coming to the plate for Lookeba Sickles, number 10, Gavin Houston.
What a stark contrast from Game 1 for Lookeba versus Binger versus Game 2 here. It is a pendulum swing, a 26-2 score fest versus a 3-0 pitcher's duel. In low ball 1. Fouls it off. We're now around an hour and 50 minutes or so, give or take. Ball cuts in low, 2-1. Ooh, just about hit him. 3-1 on the count. I think that's only the second time in this game that a pitcher has lost control of the ball. We've had one other dinged batter, and that one just about made it 2. And I think he was going to hit him with that one too. So he walks him, runner on first.
Runner now on first base for Lookeba Sickles. Next up to bat, number 27, Reese Courtney.
Panthers have had a runner on in every inning except for the 4th inning, if I believe, when it was a 3-up, 3-down inning. A do-si-do pitch it was. 0-1 is the count. I'm just thankful that all of the wind and blowing has subsided and my allergies are back to normal. And I don't sound like I am hollering inside a silo. Runner in safe at second base, so another stolen base for the Panthers. 1-1 pitch count will resume. And we've got an ejection. Mama goes home. We'll see if anybody that came with her or drove her has to go. Coach Tisson is giving them instructions to leave. Trying to see if there will be a designated administrator escort them. Otherwise, they've got to go home. Folks, just a reminder, just because you can say something doesn't mean that you need to or ought to. He is in safe at third. The double pump action delayed him getting the throw on its mark. 2-1 pitch count will resume. Panthers again have a running scoring opportunity here at third base. And in for a strike, 2-2. Puts it in play to the pitcher. He'll hold him at third. Wisely done. 1-3 on the ground out. In safe at home. 4-0 is the score. One down.
And there's one away now. 4-0 your score.
So officially we have a 1-3 fielder's choice throw out. It is done in a textbook manner by both the offense and defense. You look third, throw first. Pitching change here for the Chieftains. Likewise, as soon as the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, third base jumps and steals home. Out at first, safe at home, 4-0 lead for the Panthers. Not to add too much to the social commentary, but folks, what can you say about this Oklahoma Sooner softball team? Resumes Big 12 play today. 18-year-old Jordy Ball defeats the Lubbock Texas Tech Red Riders 11-0. Sooners hit 6 home runs. And that young lady is now 15-0 for the undefeated Sooners.
Batting for Lookeba Sickles, number 2, Dayton Crane.
Well, at least the pressure is off here on the relief pitcher. Nobody on. He's already got 1 out and gets a 0-0 pitch count. Hits somebody's vehicle. That's not going to be good. You almost wish that the Dent and Dinger Repair Company would hook up with Dewey, Screw'em, and Hal. I heard a joke one time that 99% of attorneys give all the rest a bad name. All right, 0-2 on the pitch count. Outside for the ball, 1-2. All right, I believe we started at just about 7 o'clock on the dot. I think it was a couple of minutes behind schedule. So we have now been going just about 2 hours, but I think we're a couple of minutes shy of the 2 hours, but that leaves us with potentially 15 minutes. 2 down now.
And there's 2 away. Batting next for Lookeba Sickles, number 15, Corbin Clifton.
I say that to say this. All Lookeba has to do is just keep dragging this inning out, and they're good to go. Otherwise, Calumet is down to their final 3 outs in the top of the 7th. Ball is wild and outside, 1-0 on the count. Fouls it off, 1-1, evening up the count. That looked like a good pitch. 2-1 on the count now. Bottom of the 6th inning, Lookeba Panthers lead Calumet 4-0. Winner punches their ticket to the championship game for the 2022 Panthers baseball tournament. Loser will slot to the 3rd place game to play the Shattuck Indians, who lost a tough game today against the Cashin Wildcats in a game that they led through most of the game. Flies out to right field.
And that will wrap up the inning. So we head to the top of the 7th inning, and the score is 4-0 with the Panthers still in the lead.
All right, here's the long and short for the shorter long version. Chieftains need 4 runs in this inning to force a bottom 7th for the Panthers to win by walk-off. Otherwise, this will be a final score, and your hometown Panthers will be in the championship game tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Said prior, record a little bit misleading, but this will give Lookeba an opportunity to finish tournament play 8-8 before they head to Roth next weekend. I can tell you this much, I don't predict and guess much, but for Class B, I'd put some money on Roth and Fort Cobb-Broxton, and in Class A, I would definitely keep an eye on Canute and especially Rattan. Tuska Tigers seem to be back after a couple of years down after 4 consecutive state final or semi-quarterfinal combos for head coach Dax Simon. Our good friends out of Atoka. Setting history, becoming the first state champion in basketball to win the gold ball, being unranked.
Currently batting for Calumet is number 1, Gavin Tinsley.
All right, so we got a 1-0 pitch count here for the Panthers. And Hack makes it 1-1. He checks swings, and I believe he's going to go, adding insult to injury. He dodges getting hit, but somehow the bat crosses the plane, and he is for the strike. In for a breaking ball, 2-2 now on the count. And full count. And he walks him.
And there's a runner now on first base for the Chieftains. Stepping up next, number 6, Carson Cooper.
This Calumet team entered the tournament with the second best record. Trailing only Cashin, who is now 13-1. Looking at the records for the teams, Calumet 10-2. Right now, Lookeba Sickles 6-8. Elk City JV, third best record in the tournament at 11-3. And then we're down to Shattuck at 13-7 and Sentinel at 9-6. And he swings and a strike. Exceptionally adept play there by the catcher. Unfortunately, they jumped the bobble, so it'll be a runner and safe at second. 0-2 pitch count will remain. Chieftains need to score 4 here. Otherwise, no need to bat for the Panthers, and it'll be a final and put them in the finals of their own tournament that they're hosting here in Lookeba, Oklahoma. Ball is in low, 1-2. And he bloops it up. It's going to drift into the second baseman's glove, so 1 down.
And there's 1 away.
So Chieftains down out of their final 2 outs here.
Batting next for Calumet, number 2, Hunter Navanek.
Breaking ball is outside and high, ball 1. And if anybody cares out there, we're now just about 5 to 6 minutes out from our 2-hour, 15-minute limit. In for a strike, throws on the fly. Second baseman has to come and get it. 1-1 is the pitch count. Runner in safe at second. and gets him on the strike. Thinks about throwing back to second and wisely keeps it. Right now, all the leverage and momentum on the side of the Panthers. 1-2 up on the pitch count. They have a runner at second. They cannot score unless you give up a hit and a potential throwing error, so wise call on throwing to second. Breaking ball puts it in play, swings, shallow fly out to left field, and it is 2 down.
And there's 2 away.
All right, Calumet down to their final out.
Batting next, number 5, Derek Krantzman.
Here we go, sports fans. You want to be a hero? Here is an opportunity. Nothing says Calumet has to get all 4 runs on one play, so just focus on getting on base or a good hit. 1-0 pitch count. Now 2-0 on the pitch count. And 3-0. Lookeba Sickles trying to become the 3rd game or team this tournament to pitch a shutout. Cashin defeated Lookeba 11-0. Elk City Freshman defeated Binger 12-0. And Lookeba Sickles trying to do the same thing to Calumet here, 4-0. Otherwise, all of our games have had a lot of runs scored. Fouls it off, full count. So here is your money pitch. 2 outs, 2 strikes, runner on second. The 3-2 pitch is on its way, and it is high. Walks him. Runners on first and second.
Runners now at first and second for Calumet.
In for a strike.
Batting is number 16, David Vineyard.
All right, force at any base other than home. So if it's hit to you, just run over or tag or pick the closest one. For Calumet, you need to try to drive this ball into the outfield to extend the inning. Gets him swinging, so that will accomplish what they needed. Runners advance second and third. However, 0-2 on the pitch count, so again, Chieftains down to their final strike and out. And money pitch on its way, strikes him out, and that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Lookeba Sickle Panthers punch their ticket to the championship game tomorrow versus the Cashin Wildcats. Calumet Chieftains slot to meet the Shattuck Indians tomorrow for 3rd place. Final score, Lookeba Sickles 4, Calumet 0.
And that is your ball game. The winner of this contest, the Lookeba Sickles Panthers. Lookeba Sickles will take on Cashin tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock, in the championship of the tournament. Shattuck and Calumet will meet at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon for 3rd place. Also, we'll have a game tomorrow morning at 11:30 between Lookeba and Binger-Oni, and another one at 2 o'clock with Sentinel and the Elk City Elks freshman team. thank you so much for coming out and being a part of today's games. We appreciate it very much. Until tomorrow, Lance the Voice saying, good night, everybody.
All right, hard to improve upon that. Panthers win. Panthers win. Panthers win. Final score, Lookeba Sickles 4, Calumet 0. Prep Nation TV quadruple coverage comes to a conclusion. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.